Hey gang. So I thought since I had my 335 out, I'd do a short video on something I've always admired, particularly about B.B. King's playing, but about many really good players, and that is how they hit a super hard note when they're going into a line. And for B.B. King, it was often any of those notes, and particularly the last one, the first and last. But what I'm talking about is this sort of thing. You know, that kind of thing, where he's really hitting hard and milking a lot out of it. In fact, before I forget, let me point you up here. I'm going to link you to a video, both here and in the description, where B.B. King is playing live, and he breaks a string even. I think it's How Blue Can You Get? And he breaks a string, and he keeps going. It's just incredible. And, you know, he wore his guitar super high up, so you can even see him, like, bringing the guitar in as he hits the note with his right hand. So he's using both his left hand and his right hand to really bang on that first note. Really amazing. But, you know, other players did it as well. And one of the things I'm thinking about is Roger Fisher of Heart in Magic Man. And this is going to be totally wrong because the tuning was very different. But I'm thinking about right around the 240 mark of that song when Roger Fisher does this line. You know, all those notes are really strong. So let me show you my take on it, and I'm also going to show you what I think some other players do, or at least say they do, and just kind of what works for me to get that, or to get the best approximation as I can on a good day, right? Okay, so the first thing that you'll notice, and I'm holding it up here, is I'm using a pointed pick. All right, so a rounded pick may work for you, but for me, a pointed pick works way better when you're trying to do this, okay? All right, so first of all, what I've heard people say is they mute the strings, and I think that they're talking about their right hand. So when you mute the strings with your right hand, all except for the top string that you're playing. So for example, if you're playing at the first, you'd mute everything but that first string so that when you play that, you only get that note. You get some others, but they're deadened out. Now, to get it fluid, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of pick control. I'm going to tell you, that doesn't work for me. I don't try to mute with my right hand at all when I'm playing this. When I try and do this, first of all, every one of these hard notes is a downstroke, okay? Take a lesson from Charlie Christian and all those jazz greats. George Barnes supposedly played all downstrokes. Charlie Christian did too. Anyway, downstrokes. Downstrokes they give you a lot of emphasis. They're stronger strokes. So that's the first thing, downstrokes for sure. Okay, the second thing what I've noticed is I play a lot of these lines when I'm trying to play it on slightly bent notes. So a lot of times it's a note that I'm going to bend up, like this one right here that I played in the beginning. I'm bending it up a little bit. So because I'm bending it up a little bit, I have no problem muting with my left hand, at least the string directly above it. So with my right hand, I don't have as much, I have a little bit of margin for error, and so I can thwack it really hard, aiming at that first string, but if I hit the second string, it's probably not going to matter much. You can hear me, I'm hitting that second string sometimes, and it's not really playing, it's not ringing out. So that's something I've just kind of known. And you want to hit it not at the peak of the bend, because at the peak of the bend you might hit the second string and it'll sound cool, but it's going to ring out a little bit, and that's not the effect that we're looking for right here. So I think that's about it. You know, when you're playing on, that's for the first string. For the second string, it would be the same thing. You're bending up slightly. Now maybe I pull back a little bit and I don't hit quite as hard because on the first string I have nowhere to go and I have no problem with hitting the pick guard or anything like that. On the second string I don't want to hit that first string, so maybe I'm a little bit, maybe it's not quite as hard, but Anyway, that works. What I find is also my third finger works better than my first finger to do this, although I can do it with my first finger. But it's not as accurate. I don't find I'm as accurate. So whenever I'm trying to do it, I think about starting a line with the third finger or something like that. It might help it a little bit. And I can tell you, I rarely go below the third string to do this effect. So I'm only primarily using it on the first three strings. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of this one, something that mystified me for a long time. And anyway, my take on it. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya down the road.